Did I shoot this intro on the same day that I shot my intro video? Yes. And you are not going to do anything about it because of the hormones, because of the mood swings. You can never know when you'll be in a good mood again. Hello, good people of the internet. Hola, Gandani here. Yes. So today we're going to be upcycling what I want to call school supplies because I got almost everything from school. But I think some of the things here, every typical Kenyan high schooler has had access to, and some of the things I may or may not have stolen. But still, we're going to be upcycling things, just random things that I had in school. I hope you enjoyed this video. Cue intro. Okay, let us get into it. The first thing that we are going to be doing is making our own sort of custom notebooks. We're going to be covering this notebook with a piece of cloth. It's actually a trouser that a friend gave me as an object, for remembrance and everything. And instead of having something that I'll probably never wear and just sits and looks ugly in my room, I chose that I'll use it to create an object of sentimental veneer so that every time I see this object, I'll remember the human being. So for this, you'll obviously need the notebook, the piece of cloth. You can use any normal cotton piece of fabric. It's 90 bob. You'll need fabric scissors, a piece of chalk, ruler, depending on the design that you want to do. You'll need a seam ripper. That is if you're using a piece of like cloth or something that you need to take apart. And you'll need a variety or like any colored thread of your choice so that you can decorate the outside. So first things first, I'm the realist. We're going to be ripping apart the trouser that he gave me, so that it's open. Oh my god, Carlton, lotion is your friend. Lotion is not an enemy. I'm so embarrassed. But right here, we're just laying down our book on top of our fabrics, and we're going to be tracing a pattern of around 1 inch all around the fabric so that you get an exact measurement. And make sure to press the fabric, like iron it out so that it's flat, and you get accurate dimensions for everything. Mine had frayed a little bit, so I went in with some fabric scissors to trim all the edges. So after I had cut it out with, the allowance of 1 inch all around, I went in and did a dry fit of covering the book. I call it dry because I will not be giving it a permanent, I will not be securing it permanent at this point. I'll be using masking tape actually, because there's a design that you're going to be doing at the front that I want to know exactly where it's going to be placed, so that even as I remove it, I'll do it at the right place. I don't know if you're understanding. Okay, just watch. So next I went to Pinterest to try and find line art, some cute, pretty easy to do line art to do on top of the book. And I'm not the best artist, so I give it some few tries using pencil. And when I was confident enough, I took my chalk and like traced the pattern that I had practiced a couple of times on my fabric. This is how it looks. This is how it was supposed to look. I don't know. I'm pleased with how it looks, honestly. I know it's not exactly how it is on the diagram, but you know what? It's mine. You're not going to tell me nothing, okay? So next I took my decorative piece of thread and I threaded it onto my needle. I was using gold because black and gold is just a marriage made in heaven. It's the business. Plus it matches my room aesthetic, so I can even use this book as a home, as like a desk space, decorative piece. I don't know. So I gave that knot a tie, and I went in to remove the masking tape from the inside because now I had already traced the pattern. You see why I was calling it a dry fit? Because I was going to remove it again. Now that I had traced the pattern at the front, I was sure about where everything was going. I was like, you know what, let's do this. So I was going to give it a chain stitch so that it looks decorative. When you're doing a chain stitch, make sure you start from the underside so that raw end, the knot that you did initially, is on the wrong side of your fabric, and I was using a double thread so that it looks more chunky. So also when you're doing a chain stitch, after you've done the first thingy, you go back to where you started and you pull it out to where you're going next, making sure that the thread passes through the loop in between. I don't know if I'm explaining visually, just watch as I do it. You go to the previous shimo, you dunga another shimo to like where you're going next, and then you pitisha the thread in. My explanation is work. You pitisha the thread in between the loop. I'm not a home science teacher, but like comprehend, look at what I'm doing. You go back to where you answered, you dunga where you are going, yeah, and then you pita katikati. Oh my god, penye ulianza, penye unaenda, unapita katikati, making sure it forms a loop. Okay, this is the second project, one of those ones that I was saying are not typical supplies, because I collected it. I picked it up outside of our school library. It was just laying there, looking sad, asking for a new owner. It looks displaced. And as you can see, it has holes all around, signifying that it was screwed somewhere and it did not just magically jump out of the library. Someone had to put some effort to yank it out, meaning they had no need for it. And considering all the injustices and malpractices that go on in that institution, all the school captains, that used to get extra slices of all those and favors from the dining hall, that used to get ginormous portions of meals inside that boilo. I'm like, I'm justified to reap from the library, because unajikuna ujipatapo. Wao walijipata kwenye boilo, that is where they're feeding, and I will feed from the library. This will not even suffice or match up to the amount of, debt that this school owes me. This is just but a small token. And either I felt justified, I taped it all around the acrylic part, so that it wasn't even like real glass. It was acrylic. I went and taped it about, so that, because I was going to spray paint the other part, and I didn't want my paint going onto, the part that I'm going to, onto the glass part. Sorry, Carlton, speak English. I'm getting a stroke. Also, this was not real wood. I think it was MDF or some very flimsy material that did not match the vibe of my room. And since I was trying to add metals into my room, I chose to give it a coat of gold spray paint all around, so that it matches the vibe of my room. And it looks like something new. It looks like something aesthetic. And once I go in to remove the tape, to remove the paper, bada ding, bada boom, just like that, we have a whiteboard. Oh my god, this final project I have waited for literal years. I can say from 2015 to, when I joined boarding in class 7. I do not know who invented these pieces. This must have been the work of the colonial man that just decided, let us torture these people. Other than telling them that you're not decent enough with your kinky hair, let's make you shave, let's make you braid your hair. You will also go to boarding school and carry this device of, tortures that just signifies slavery along with you to store all your belongings. I'm sorry for my knees. Either way, I gave it a quick hammering around so that it is restored to its, original form. And I wiped it, and I went in with a coat of white paint. And the first one was looking quite scary, quite streaky. And it's because this box had very many coats of paint on top of it. Plus, it was a very sunny day. But either way, I just gave it a couple of coats to get it to ultra pure white. But here, this was actually a mistake. And if you want to recreate this with your own metallic box, here are some few tips. First things first, use a roller to paint it, because this finish was very streaky, and even though I would like to pass it off as, antique and aged, I could have done better. I could have done better. And I'm telling you how to do better. Use a roller so that you get like a nice and smooth finish. Or if you are going to use a brush, use a good quality brush. The one that I was using, I have used for a million times. This is my mistake number 2. I wanted to spray paint all the hardware in gold, and so I painted it white first and then taped off all the hardware parts and whatnot so that I can go on top of it with gold. If you're going to do this, do the reverse. Start with the gold, then paint white and go in next to the hardware with like a 1-inch brush or even a piece of cotton swab, and it will give you a nice clean finish. Because here you can see I'm doing another coat of white because some of the gold spray paint had spilled over, and once I remove the paint, you find that those parts that were covered by the masking tape look as if they have, a coat less of white paint. The other parts look as if they're so saturated, they're so, thick, luscious, and, all that good stuff. But these parts that had surrounded the hardware that had the masking tape just look so malnourished, so not it, so not the business. But I'm not saying that this box is bad. Actually, anything is an upgrade from that colonial blue metallic ugly piece that I previously had. So this, I'm definitely satisfied with what I achieved here. I will not be making alterations, maybe in future if I want to give it like a different color or anything, but it is serving its purpose. It is looking fantamagorgeous. It is storing all my DIY supplies, and it is not an eyesore in my room because I had to keep it there. Yes, that's the business. And that is it for this video. I really hope that you liked it. Tell me what your favorite project was. Actually, all of them were my favorites. I really loved the metallic trunk upcycle because in all its ugly lack of glory, I hate the fact that it just has to sit in my room. And since I wanted it to match the vibe and aesthetic of my room, I feel like right now with the upcycling, it really serves its purpose while looking good because I can use it to store my DIY equipment while still have an aesthetically pleasing trunk. I also loved the notebook actually because it's so pretty. I'll be making many more of those. What a way to use your friend's high school trouser and turn it into an object of sentimental veneer. Let's all do this. Let's all do this. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, like it, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share it to all your friends on all the social media platforms.
I can't believe the sound that